people of the internet, it's Sarah here, and I'm doing a quick little update because Dawn gets released tomorrow! Oh, it's premiering tomorrow! How excited are you? I am super excited. As you can probably tell, I have a bit of a cold, but this is not going to stop me from uploading or doing anything like that. It's actually going to help with a project I've been asked to be in. But if I'm sniffing all the way through that, that is because of this cold. I have a warm beverage with me, tea, because according to Paul, you all know Paul by now, I am the tea drinking champion of the UK. Wouldn't surprise me, but yeah, tea it is. So, I asked you guys to leave me some questions on my last update, and I have a few, so I'm going to answer them. I also have one question from Twitter, which I'm going to start with. The first question is from Twitter, and it is from Miranda, otherwise known as Good Girl XO. She also sent me a question on the video, so I'm just going to answer both of yours, okay? The first question you asked me was, what made you create Dawn? Well, Dawn had been in the works as a book for quite a while now, because I also have a book called The Slayer, and I was getting really into developing the Slayer, but I had so many ideas that didn't actually fit with the Slayer and the whole world I created with her. So I kept them to the side because I was like, they might be helpful one day. And funny enough, I was watching a Scooby-Doo episode, and I got the idea of maybe combining these ideas I had for the Slayer into a mystery. And from there, I guess Dawn was born. It becoming a voiceover series actually happened. Well, it's always been a kind of idea since me joining the community. I've wanted to make Dawn a series. I thought I'm going to get myself a little bit more established first before I actually did it. So I developed the characters a bit more, a little bit about maybe the plot line. Definitely the one thing I developed was who was the killer and why. And then once I felt I was a little bit more part of the community, I decided to make it a series. So yeah, it started off being not rejected ideas, just ideas that didn't fit with another world I had created. And now it's another world that I am absolutely in love with. Your second question is, how do you edit your series? I actually use Wondershare. That is the editing system I use. But what I like to do with my series, which I think I don't know if anyone else does that, is I like to get all the clips together first to make sure I have them. And then when I'm writing it out, I have specific clips in mind for what I want to happen, because then I know they're there. And then I just kind of use Wondershare. I put all the clips in together, wait until I get all the lines in, and then I add a little special effects now and again when I can. That's really it. It's quite simple actually, but I like to make sure I've got the clips. I don't mind reusing clips as long as it makes sense. That's one thing. If the series can make sense to my friend Paul or my other friends in my group, I mainly go to Paul because Paul is my best pal. But if it makes sense to them, then I know it'll make sense to everyone else. The next question is from Ephraim De Laurentiis. Asked, what do you prefer, writing or editing? See, that is an interesting question, because I like both, but it really depends on my mood. Some days I just cannot write, I have no ideas, or I have too many ideas and I can't actually write them down. So those days are the days I sit on editor and I do a lot of editing of stuff. Mainly it's not just Dawn stuff, it's sometimes uni stuff as well. But the days I can't write, I always edit. And the days that I do write, I write, if I guess. So editing, I prefer writing, because for me, I have so much I want to share in my mind, and it's getting from what's in my head down on the paper, which I really like. Like, I have a anything book, which is just my thoughts. I spell check them first on my computer, and then I write them in my anything book. So I guess both, depending on my mood that day. But if I had to choose one, it would be writing. The next question is from Musical Notes 24/7. What inspired you to write a series like Dawn? See, a series like Dawn, I guess Dawn is very supernatural and mystery-ish. So the two shows that inspired Dawn itself is Pretty Little Liars and Scooby-Doo, which the odd mix, but I guess if you look back on the promo you can see both shows in there. But from a young age, I'd say about 7, I got really into like supernatural stuff. I've always been into Scooby-Doo, so I like monsters. I wasn't one for like Barbie or anything like that. I mean, now and again I will watch like H2O still and like those kind of shows, but I'm always into darker stuff like Scooby-Doo, monsters, supernatural. And I've always loved a good murder mystery. I love murder mysteries. I don't know if that's because I like I don't like killing, but I like to think about how people cover it up and how people solve it. So I guess Dawn is kind of a mix of those two things because they're the two things that I'm most comfortable with. Like, I'm very good at writing. Well, I'd say I'm very good at writing them. I guess I'm so used to being in those two worlds when I'm watching stuff that I guess it was kind of natural to write something in those two genres. I mean, my next project, I'm completely stepping out of what I'm used to, my comfort zone, and I'm going to try and write a comedy. This one, the comedy, I'm definitely going to get help of my friend, Paul. I'm just going to say it, I'm going to get the help of Paul. Well, we did start writing it together, so I hope so, but I'm not very good at the comedy part. Like, I'll do storylines, I'm very good at making emotional stuff, but it's the whole comedy side which is a bit about me. So yeah, that's hopefully my next project. Is I'm going to push myself a little bit, so, but that's coming. YouTube Cinema HD, I'm assuming YT is for that, asked me, what is your favourite thing about writing? Oh, my favourite thing about writing, I love creating worlds, if that makes sense. Like, for me, a story, I don't start writing a story till I've made the world up, and then I can hibernate in that world. Like, for me, I have, including Dawn, I've got 3 stories now, 3 main stories going on, which is The Slayer, Little White Lie, and Dawn. Each of them in their own little world, each of them with my own characters. Oh, I just love the fact I can jump from world to world. I like creating a little bubble. I like how maybe my writing or someone else's writing can inspire so much, can help so many people. The best feeling in the world is when you write, like, you've had so many days of writer's block and you sit down and everything you've wanted and everything that's been in your head, everything you've created in your head comes out in words, and you just, it's exactly what you wanted. And it's amazing that words can help inspire and help create such a beautiful thing. You know, you've wrote something very well when you reread it and you no longer realise you're actually reading something. You're actually, like, in your head you've got this scene and with actual characters and they're talking and you don't realise you're reading. And for me, when that happens, that's when I know I've written something good, or I feel I've written something good. I don't know if that actually answered your question or if I just went into a ramble about writing. Those are all the questions I got from Dawn, but once the pilot has been released tomorrow, if you have any other questions, or if you want me to do another Q&A, I might do one after episode 2, or actually I might do a Q&A with the cast. Like, I'll ask them any questions as well. I really hope you enjoy Dawn. It's been a long time coming. I might have hyped it up a little bit too much. To me, it's my baby, practically. I've lived with it for about a month and a half, well, more than a month now, because I've created it before I actually, like, put it up on YouTube to get people in. So it feels weird to release it to the world. Also, I'm going to have a little shout out here. I did an exclusive interview about Dawn for the release of the pilot on the YouTube Times, which is a new website all about the voiceover community and all the projects coming up for the voiceover community. So I'd love it if you went and had a little read there. You might find something out about Dawn that you didn't know, including possible references to characters. I'll also mention about my new series that's in development. Just that. I hope my voice has been a bit okay for this. I have got a cold, but I couldn't help but share. I hope that you're excited for the release of Dawn. Get ready to come to Crystal Cove, a town which is not as innocent as it looks. I hope you're ready to solve the mystery of Dawn, as I think I'm the only one who knows who did it. Later, guys. Mwah.